Hi, I'm Anna Rosenberg, and I'm thrilled that you joined me for 3 secrets to leverage social media to build an audience of your best clients. Wouldn't it be awesome to attract your best potential clients, your most loyal clients, those that are ready to invest in doing your best work, get results, and refer to you even more people like them? That's what we are here to do. Not really for the love of social media, but for the love of your message and your good work. I promise I'm going to teach you in this masterclass things that you can start doing today to build your business audience. As soon as you leave the class, I'd like you to thank you for investing your time and your energy in learning how to put social media to work for your message. And I've done the work to make sure to give you as much as I can in the time we have together. My quote-unquote secret agenda is that you feel excited, inspired, and empowered to start building an audience of perfect clients. I'm going to share with you briefly my story, only to show you what's possible. My first claim to fame was building my first consulting and training business from scratch, fresh out of university, with no connections and in a very competitive space, up to the point of becoming a highly paid consultant trainer before the age of 30. My second claim to fame, and perhaps the most relevant to this conversation, is a love story. I moved to the middle of the Alps with more cows than people to marry my dear engineer husband. I didn't speak the language here in Germany, and to be able to build my current business, I had to learn how to leverage the internet and social media to reach an international audience. It was not easy. I went down lots of rabbit holes that didn't take me to Wonderland precisely. Fast forward to today, my business has an audience I love. I published several best-selling books that contributed immensely to reaching and helping even more people, and social media has played a big part in all this. So I'm here to take you behind the scenes and show you what I figure out works for people like us, modern experts and entrepreneurs with a mission and a message. I'm also going to show you what to avoid so you save yourself the time and the heartache. 60 minutes to build a social media strategy is a challenge, and I prepare a lot for it. I'm going to speak fast and give you as much as I can in this time, even show you how to get more for free. This is what we're going to cover to make sure we maximize the use of our time together. 1. How to position yourself to give your message and your good work a fair chance to be seen, heard, and attract your best potential clients. Why social media is like a party and how to choose which party to attend to meet the right people. What to do before and during the process of building your business, and when scaling up. You live with social media clarity plus the next best steps to get started building your audience or up leveling your audience. This is what we are not going to talk about. How to post pictures of cats and babies, unless you are, of course, a cat or baby expert. Hashtags or technicalities, tactics or tags. Look at this message. This is a message I got from someone that I connected with on LinkedIn. And this is exactly what I want for you too. So, secret number 1. The goal achieved 100% of the time. By default, whether we pay attention to it or not. That goal is positioning. So what is this positioning thing? At the very least, let's have a look at what it is. This is the place where your social media visitor places you and your message in their mind. The mind space you occupy in your visitor's head. Let's talk briefly about our brain, our human brain. Because what we're going to talk about here in positioning is universal, works across cultures. This is how human brains work. We actually have 3 brains, according to Professor McLean's work. The back of the brain, the reptilian brain, in charge of our survival, the oldest part of the brain. There was no language when this part of the brain was developed. The mammalian brain, the mid part of the brain, if you wish, in charge of emotions. And the frontal lobe, the frontal part of the brain, the neocortex. That's kind of the newest part, the logical part, the creative part, the language part. So, what happens when we are in front of another human being? That's when the positioning happens, right? So I want to take you back to Africa. Scientists think that our beginnings as human beings were in Africa. So let's go back in time together at the time where there were only maybe 10,000 of us, right? So when in front of another animal, another being, the back of our brain got in charge because it needed to very, very quickly decide if this person in front of us was an enemy, and then we had to run away, right? Or prepare to attack, depending. And there was no time to think, oh, let's have a look at the logo, right? There's no time to think, right? Immediately, there needs to be some judgment. Is this a person a friend? And a friend, I don't mean a Facebook friend. What I mean is, think about it. Is this person going to provide resources? At the more basic level, we are talking about, is this person going to feed me and take care of me? Is this person someone to ignore? Back then, 10,000 of us, and lots of other dangers and lots of other things to pay attention to. Today, 7 billion of us. So, the reason why we are talking about positioning first is because, unfortunately, no matter how valuable it is what you have to say, the biggest risk is to fall into this category and become completely invisible to the very people you could be helping the most. So, the last category is not a category I talk about much, but it's relevant to this conversation. The fourth category is not friend or provider of resources, is not enemy, is not to be ignored, it's potential sexual partner. So everybody is talking about get the attention. Yes, get the attention, but not the wrong attention, right? Because if you build your audience on the wrong attention, you have there the people that are there for a quick transaction. Let's put it that way, right? So we said provider of resources, enemy, to be ignored, potential sexual partner. Obviously, our conversation is about how we can take action, the actions we are responsible for, to do everything that is in our power to land in the position of provider of resources for the people that are interested in what we have to offer, right? So, let's talk a little bit first about what to stop doing at this level. If you, every post in social media, everywhere is like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, look at me. Well, you become a noise. So it's another one, right? And sometimes, potentially, an enemy, right? This is a person here to trick me to do what I don't want to do, what's not good for me. So, careful with that. For your message to be heard, and for you to be seen and heard and respected, and eventually also well paid for what you do, you need to land in the category of a resource provider. And this is how we're going to align all the training of today for you to see how to do that. So almost immediately, as soon as the decision is, okay, let's pay attention to this person because they have something to give me. This is how you have to think, right? At that moment, we are also placed in another category. And that category will depend on the resources we provide. So, if you look at that picture, I'm not going to go to that shop and order pizza, right? I immediately identify what I can get there, what they can do for me there, right? That applies to your content on social media, how you position yourself, right, as a resource. What kind of resource? It cannot be 20 kinds of different resources, right? Because when we are confused, we pay attention to nothing. You land in the category of confused, not clear, ignore. I have no time to clarify for you what resource you are, right? I'm busy. So let's talk a little bit about mountains. This is a mountain in the south of my country. I come from Argentina. This is the highest mountain in America, America as a continent, including North America, Central America, and South America, called Aconcagua. And very dangerous mountain to climb. Not that I have any experience, but I was there, but I didn't climb it. There are different guides that help people climb mountains. So I want you to think what mountain you help your audience climb. So what's a big, expensive painful problem you help them overcome. And I also want you to get clear, where do you start on the journey? And up to where do you take them? In the case of this mountain, there are people who, for example, start at the very base and climb to the first stage. I don't even know what that's called, right? And there are people who guide you from the base to the very top. Decide where your people are starting on the journey. That will help you with the content and the invitations that you post on social media, right? That will help you provide resources that are relevant. Get clear, very, very, very clear about who these people are. Let's talk about parties. That's much more me than mountain climbing. Secret number 2, choose your party wisely. A useful way of thinking about social media is to think about social media as if it were going to a party. The catch here is that if we try to go on the same night to all the parties, well, our efforts are going to be very diluted, right? So how are we going to choose, and what are we going to do to make sure that we go to the party where our people are, the people we want to meet are? But before leaving home, it's kind of important to get dressed, right? To show up dressed. The naked party is a different kind of party, right? Like, that's not the kind of attention you want. So what do I mean by getting dressed? This will work across any social media platform that you choose. How to set your profile. And I'm going to go into detail today about this. The backgrounds you use and the content you post. So no matter which platform you choose and where to start, or which one you choose next, and remember, choose one, start with one, master one, and then move on to the next. Instead of trying to be everywhere, and everywhere you are, you have 3 followers. So people go there and say, oh, well, so this must not be such a relevant person, right? So the first thing we're going to start talking about is the picture, your profile picture. And it's a picture you're going to use across all your profiles, the same picture, right? People sometimes say to me, oh, you're everywhere. Probably the fact that my picture is always the same picture helps, right? It's difficult because I would love sometimes to change it, but no. So what picture? What would be a good picture? What makes a good picture for social media? Your face. Smile with your eyes. Let the wrinkles around your eyes show. I'm kind of happy because now I'm getting wrinkles. I have a use for them. Mistake I made in this picture. I should have smiled with my mouth closed. Because if we smile with it and we show the teeth, one of the messages, this person in front of me bites, right? So don't make the mistake I made. Not a freaky smile. A nice smile, right? Like, so your whole face smiles. no teeth. So what else do you see in this profile? Background, image. This is my Facebook page, right? Let me tell you what. I took this picture. Is the building I love the most in London. Makes me happy just to see it, right? Took it from inside. Blue sky, beautiful day, which is not that common in London, right? I probably took this picture because I was there so many times that, well, I got one chance of catching the blue sky, right? Nobody else has this picture. But look at this background. I wanted to convey a feeling here. And this is what I'm not going to include in the background. There are no logos, no header from my website, no my books all there, none of that. That's not only a way of being different, it's a way of immediately conveying a feeling, right? The background, the picture, the name and the description is what people see first, right? So remember, we are trying for provider of resources. I'm not here to take away from you, right? I'm not here to take away your most precious asset, which is your time. Look at my book, look at my thing, no. Come and look at me, right? Up front, there's nothing to hide. You see my name? You see a little description, right? Let me show you across the board. This is my LinkedIn profile. Same background. LinkedIn is a business party, which is good, right? Because here we can talk a little bit more about what we do for people. If it were a networking meeting, we would say hello and who I am, and we would ask what you do, and we would ask about other people's businesses, and probably people would ask back, so what do you do, right? But again, there's nothing very buy my stuff here, right? The summary opens up with you. If you, right? And what I can do for you. Twitter profile. Same stuff, right? Look at name. Business consultant. Right? Yeah, my website is there. I tell you, lots of people click and check me out. Look at what I don't do. Here I was logged out of the account, so I wanted to show you what a person that is not even logged in would see, right? I don't write. I help these kind of people, and I do this, and do you want my free thing? Well, none of that. I tried with only the name, and writing actually something that looks a little bit like a label, if you wish, works better, right? At least for me. You have to test for you. Here I put in detail what I'm showing you, right? So what people see is the picture, my name, a real name. There is no logo of my company. It's me, it's my picture, right? What I do, my website, lots of people go check me out. They also see how many people are following me back. And now I want to show you the kind of content they see. So the first thing I pinned up there is a quote that has been very popular with my audience and that really reflects the place I come from. This is what I really believe. about us, all of us human beings, right? And he has now many more than this, right? Likes. So I put it there, left it there. So the first thing, it's a quote. I didn't start there, but then out of posting, I discovered that this became quickly so popular that I put it up there, and that's a welcome. And there's a picture, right? There's nothing threatening, nothing that is like, oh, buy my thing, sign up for me, pay attention to me, none of that. Oh, well, but I do want them to pay attention. I do want them to sign up. Look, at the moment, the time I made these slides, I did have, like, I was celebrating the new bestseller, so I did have a post about that book, right? Telling people, who is this for, right? So nobody wastes time if it's not for them, right? What it is about, what's in there for them. Then there was another free resource, the New York Public Library, has this collection of free images in the public domain. I want you to look at something. Look at this link. It goes directly. There are no hashtags, nothing. It goes directly to the New York Public Library, right? I don't post strange links. Let me show another one. This is a blog post that I wrote. The headline here is the headline of the blog post. Exactly. Look at the link where they're going to go. My name, right? And after that, exactly the same as the name of the blog post, right? That's where they're going. So there is no switch, right? When they go there, they will see this picture that I posted here. So when they leave, only if they're interested, they will click and go, right? But they will find exactly what I said they were going to find. Very important. So back to party time. There are different kinds of parties. So how are we going to choose where to go, where to show up, and how to dress up for those parties? We are going to classify parties into a very scientific system. I call them some group of social media platforms. I call them click, click, click parties. And Facebook. So what is a click, click, click party? There are parties where I can take action. And the action I'm talking about is, instead of staying in a corner and waiting for somebody to come and say hi, I can go and say hi first. That's the action, right? So some people will be interested in talking to me, some people won't. But I take the first step and go and say hi, right? To find out who is interested in talking to me, who is not, right? Facebook is different. So let's talk about Facebook. Facebook has today the most awesome platform to advertise. So what is to advertise? What do I need? It means I can pay Facebook and say, Facebook, please, I have this message, right? Please show it to these kind of people. And Facebook will. And I can choose what kind of people I show things to, right? But Facebook is a pay-to-play platform. You can You can have a Facebook page and post all day long. It doesn't matter how many likes you have. Facebook is not going to show your content unless to everybody that likes your page. Unless there is some investment, financial investment, if you wish. But Facebook is key if you want to create, is one key way of creating a system of predictably being able to invite people to whatever you want to invite them to. So, when we finish our class here today, I'm going to give you all my Facebook system for free, so you know what strategy is good for us, for people like us, and also all the technical resources you need. So now we're going to start with all those parties that I call the click, click, click parties, because I can click and go and say hello. Here I can take action and go and say hello first. This is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my first love. It's a platform I love. It's a business platform. So, like coming to the topic of business and adding value to people's lives around their business, this is a place for that. But still, it's a party, right? You don't go to a networking party. Well, maybe you do, but don't do this, right? If you go to a networking party, networking meeting, you don't go just push your card and like pay no attention to the human being in front of us, and this is my company, and this is me, and this is what I do, because nobody, you're not going to get the response you want, right? When somebody Googles your name, one of the first results that comes is your LinkedIn profile. This is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you where my profile is. Go model what I'm doing. Not copy, right? Model what I'm doing. It works. Pay attention to the picture, to all the things we have talked about. Pay attention to the content you post. Pay attention to the summary, right? Have a look. So after you have an awesome profile, what do you do next? You join groups. LinkedIn has millions of groups. We have already crossed the 400 million members in LinkedIn, right? So there are lots of groups. So which groups to join? And this applies not only to LinkedIn, applies to Facebook, applies to Google+. We will talk about all of them. So which groups to join? 75% of the groups have to be groups where you think your audience is, right? Don't join any group with the spirit of hunting, right? So you go into the group and, this is me, because that's not the way. But join groups where your potential clients are. Listen, ask questions, answer questions, and connect with people. In LinkedIn, you can, your way of click, 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 go say hello, hi, is to send people, relevant people, connection requests. Personalize that message, right? Go say hi, but look at the person's profile. Say hi, say something relevant to that person, right? Like you would in real life. Yeah, this is an anaerosism thing, right? Listen, don't be online what you would never do offline. And the other 25% of the groups can be groups where your peers are. Because a powerful way of building a business is also collaboration with peers and colleagues, and it's all good. The problem for us experts is that we feel more comfortable in groups where with our peers, right? Talking about the things that interest us, right? And we cannot have the same level of conversation with in groups where our clients are. But the danger with the peer group is to start going down rabbit holes about how to impress colleagues who will never buy from us. That are not our audience. So careful with that. Twitter. If LinkedIn is my first love, Twitter is like my husband. Let me explain. Every time I came to Europe, I skipped Germany. I thought to myself, of course, probably wrong, right? But I thought to myself, oh no, Germany must be such a boring country. No way, right? I'm not interested. I ended up marrying a German man, wonderful German man, the love of my life. Of course, an engineer. Of course, and I thought they had to all be engineers, right? No, 99.9%, not all, right? There are some exceptions. And me, a city person, moved to the middle of the countryside. So, Twitter, 140 characters. You have noticed already how much I speak, right? So, what is this, right? Twitter is responsible for a huge part of my business audience. And in this class, I'm going to show you exactly where to start and how to do it. 5 minutes a day. Google Plus. I'm no Google Plus expert. I'm interested in anything Google because people Google us, right? To check us out. And it's a factor to make decisions, right? So, good profile, complete profile, all the things we have talked about. Let me tell you how I use it. I post about blog posts and content from my blog. And every time I'm there to post, in Google Plus, you don't follow people. The terminology is add people to your circles. So I find interesting people, and I add them to my circles. So when I have something to post, I can say to Google Plus, please show them to people in my circles. And I can choose which circles, right? Is this to be shown to my family, or is it to my friends, or is it like to what circles is this relevant, right? Google Plus has communities, not groups. So I go and find, again, with the same rules, right? Which communities? 75% of communities where I can add value because of my expertise. And most importantly, where I can listen to what people want to know, because it's not about what's valuable to me, it's what's valuable to my audience, right? And there, I also find people to add to my circles from those communities, right? The last party we're going to discuss today is Pinterest. Pinterest is a visual platform. You pin pictures, right? So this is the challenge for me, right? In my line of business, in what I do, there's not so much visual representation of things, right? So I have to make an investment to have graphics and stuff ready for Pinterest. I'm starting to grow an audience in Pinterest. Main point, I can search for the kind of people I'm interested in following. And again, I go and say hi. How do I say hi here? I go and follow people, and some of them follow me back, right? When they follow me back, that means, yeah, they have said hi back and they're interested in hearing what I have to say, right? So we can start a conversation. And some others don't follow me back, right? So I know those are not interested in hear what I have to say. And it's cool too, right? So that way, with that mindset, with that way of thinking, I'm never worried about talking to people that are following me back, because they want to follow me back. They want to listen to what I have to say. They even expect me to say something, right? So there's nothing weird. There's nothing awkward. It's a platform full of women, right? So if women in particular are your target market, check Pinterest out. But it's graphic intensive, right? So depending on the kind of business you have, some businesses lend themselves better to represent things graphically, right? If I make cakes, well, there are plenty of things I can take pictures of, right? If I teach people how to build a business, right? There are not so many things I can take pictures of, right? This is the difference between businesses that I wanted to show you. So let's talk about the birds. And now I'm going to give you a crash course of how to start an audience, or how to up-level your audience using Twitter. Before, this is a screenshot of a week in Twitter in January. You see? This means that over 20,000 people interested in what I have to say have seen what I have to show them for free. Let me show. So, two things. How many? Two. Two things you have to become friends with in Twitter. This one here, your search bar. This one here, the people you are following. So let's start with the search bar. When we arrive at a party, we don't start talking alone, right? What we generally do is to join conversations that are already happening. So some people have already arrived, right? And they are already having conversations. So the wisest way to approach social media is to think, who has arrived at my party, at this party, in my space, right, before me, and is already having interesting, intelligent conversation, right, with other people and engage in them. You all know the names in your space, right? Some people call them competitors. I hate that. I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration, and there is room for everybody because everybody does things from a different place. You should know who is there in your space and who came there first, right? So you put the name there and you start following them. This is what some people teach. Go follow their followers. If they're following them, go follow them. That's not how I think. I think differently. Well, I do all this differently from anybody else, right? I think, who are they following? Because they're clever, smart people, right? So they have already found even more interesting conversations. I want to know where those conversations are, right? So I actually check out who they are following, right? And I start following them. Remember, following them means a click, right? It's like saying hi, right? Some people will follow you back, some people won't. The people that follow you back, it means they are interested in what you have to say. It's okay to talk to them. The people that don't follow you back, after a certain period of time, these are the people you're following, right? After a certain period of time, go there, right? And unfollow the people that don't follow you back. The Twitter system is based on, you have a limit of how many people you can follow, and if there's some kind of ratio between how many people you follow, if nobody follows you back, right? So after a period of time, like a week or a month, if you follow people and they don't follow you back, unfollow them. That's it. So where else are you going to find your audience? Magazines, TV shows, associations, organizations, clubs, Twitter search bar, conferences, events in your space, right? This search bar, it's actually pretty good, right? So pretty accurate. Twitter's not Google, but you get pretty good results in comparison to in Google, Google or Facebook, for example, right? Like Twitter is like the search bar is pretty good. What books do they read? So, what topics do they talk about, right? Okay, so what would it look like if you had to do this 5 minutes every day? Let's say that you type there the name of an organization where you're pretty sure your audience is, right? Good. And then you start following people that belong to that organization, right? So you go with a click and follow. Follow, 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 click, 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 right? After the 5 minutes are over, you stop. And you resume the following day. I didn't do anything in Twitter when I first opened the account, right? This is like, I'm still growing. My following in the last 2 years, right? What happens is that at some point, to keep those ratios I was telling you about, you have to unfollow the people that don't follow you back, right? And that's it. But you will be surprised how many people do follow you back, right? Secret number 3, direction. So what is this about? Now, a lot of people who teach social media will say, ask questions. Um, uh, I don't know, whatever they say to do. Go poke people. Well, look, it's not about asking questions that are not necessary. It's not about any of that. It's about knowing why I'm there and what's the journey there, right? And I'm going to make it very, very simple. It's not a question of giving you a template because this will depend on your audience, the people you are talking to, right? Not all the questions work for, like, not all the kinds of the same kind of posts work for every audience. But if you have a sense of direction, you have a lot of clarity of what to post today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and so on and so forth. Social media, whichever platform you choose, is like a party. The direction where you're going is you show up where you are sure you're going to meet people that it will eventually become your audience, right? You invite them to a party in your home. And your home is your website, right? Will everybody come? No. But the ones that really come are really interested in what you have to say, right? You all know about building your email community, right? Social media to take people to some special invitation you have to start building your email community. And what does this mean? Let's say that somebody says, oh, come here and download a free report about how to gain weight. I don't want to talk much. I'm never going to go and download that, right? I'm not interested. Which is very good because that way I'm not in a community where I don't belong and where I will be bothered if they start sending me messages. I don't want to talk about losing weight anymore because I'm kind of finding all the weight that people are losing. So I'm not finding it funny anymore. But let's say that's what we are talking about. So what happens after they give you their contact information? This is what happens. Now I start bombarding them with offers. No. Now you start nurturing that relationship. Why? Very simple. It goes back to positioning. Because when the person is ready to make a decision, you have been there providing resources. You have been there answering their questions on the way. You are the trusted leading authority in that space, right? It's your name they have been seeing regularly in their inbox, right? So that's the direction we are going. Something else important to say that it's social media is a place to make invitations. So it's not a place to sell. For us, right? We have services, we have programs. Invite, educate, train, and then make your offers. Make other paid invitations if you wish. So when you're starting, before and when we're starting building your business, what direction are you going to take? Listening more than talking, and start saying hi to people, meaning start building your platform. In the process of building your business, that's when you start making invitations to. What form do these invitations have? Well, this is a blog post. So I'm inviting you to come have a look at it. If it's relevant to you, you will. Look, I have this free resource. And some people that feel that's relevant will go check it out. Give you their contact information in exchange for that. And by the way, you don't have to have only one free resource to offer. You can have several, because then there are different people that would want in the same space, in your same field, might be interested in different things, right? Always with the mentality, how can I add value? How can I bring people near to me, right? Because I added value to them. Not because I try to shout louder. And when you're up leveling, like scaling up your business, it's getting bigger, you make better and better invitations, right? A lot of people talk about webinars, for example. Well, okay, if you are going to do a training, wonderful. Invite people to webinars. It might not be the first invitation when you're first starting out, right? Start inviting, especially events. Especially events where you go, train, give value, answer questions, right? And where all you have to show them at the end is where to even get more value. As I promised, I am going to give you the next steps, right? So write them down. There we go. First of all, you get clear about your audience. What mountain you're going to help them climb, and where are they starting climbing that mountain, right? Then you go open your account or your next account, meaning in a platform where you're not there yet, if you have mastered all the platforms where you are. And if not, you decide, where am I going to be first until I master this, and then I can move on to the next. You can open all the accounts if you wish, but you don't have to make them all live and public at the same time and diversify all your efforts, because every platform is a little bit different. Master one first, right? Today I gave you all the Twitter strategy, 5 minutes, right? Big companies have seen and they recognize the power of Twitter. Twitter now has ads too. Every time a platform has ads, it's wonderful because you know that you can pay money, but they do something bigger for you in return. They show the people you need the message you want these people to see, right? Gives you more certainty, right? 3, profile makeover. I have all the accounts, wonderful. Through the filters and the principles we talked about today, go back and see which profiles need a makeover. Look critically, what kind of first impression am I making? And if you're not sure, the feedback from people is the answer, right? Feedback is not criticism, it's what is, right? If lots of people are responding, wonderful, that's feedback. If not so many people are responding, wonderful, that's also feedback. Feedback is always very, very useful. Start joining groups or communities, depending on where you are, right? And then start following people, which basically is going and saying hi. Come say hi to me first, right? Like, I hope this is me on Twitter, this is me on LinkedIn. I'm giving you this so that you can have kind of a cheat sheet of what we talked about. Have a look at the profile, use it as a model, no problem. This is my Facebook page, right? Come say hi. And as I promised, I'm going to give you help with Facebook. There was no way that I could cover Facebook in an hour, right? So, together with everything else. So, this is a page where I celebrated when my book about Facebook became a best-selling book. So there you can go get it for free. The book is a conversation about strategy for people like us, right? So how do I think Facebook? And how do I create a system that is predictable and scalable to put my message in front of people, to build my audience, and to guarantee that when I make invitations, there are people who show up, right? So this takes away the desperation. Where is my next client going to come from? If I add value and I make good invitations, Facebook shows those invitations to the right people. How do I build all that, right? That book includes a free resource center where we go into the technical part. So I show you how I built my page. The page used for the book was a case study built for the book. So I could document and show it to you how I did that, how I built the audience for that page, right? What ads I used to do that. How to follow up. There's a chapter in the book with an interview to a follow-up expert. How do I follow up? Resources to follow up. Resources to use images for social media. Resources, there are resources even like, for example, there are like hundreds of different backgrounds in different colors, in different sizes that you can use either for your Facebook posts or for your ads. How do I place my first ad? What buttons do I have to push? All that is there. What do I need to know about marketing? All there, right? For free. So what I'm saying is come, say hi, get your Facebook strategy, and come tell me about your business, what you are up to in the world, what kind of work you do. And till we talk next time, cheers.